Yo, what's up, Broncos country? How's it going tonight, guys? So, I know it's kind of late. It's 8:30 Mountain Time, and it's 10:30 Eastern Time. But I finally got some settled, downtime right now to make this video. This is gonna be my prediction video, what I think is gonna happen tomorrow, and my score prediction, and pretty much everything else in between. This should not be a very long video. Tomorrow night, me and Muhammad will be going live after the game, talking about the game and everything, talking about the Robert Saleh firing and much more. So tune in tomorrow night for that. So let's get started. So as most of you guys know, if you haven't heard since yesterday, the Broncos are going to be without Josh Reynolds, Alex Pelcheski, and Luke Wattenberg. All three of those guys are ruled out for tomorrow's game. I believe, not 100% sure, but I believe Josh Reynolds was put on IR. But tomorrow our starters are going to be on offense are going to be, of course, Cortland Sutton will be the number one. Behind him, I believe will be Marvin Mims, and then probably little Jordan Humphrey. I would assume Devon Vele is probably going to be back at some capacity tomorrow. We'll see him play tomorrow. And then on the offensive line, of course, I think Petrie is going to be starting at right tackle. Since Palczewski is down, and Mike McGlinchey, I think, needs another week before he can come back. And then at center, of course, it's going to be Forsyth is going to be starting at center. Now, a lot of people are concerned with this, and rightfully so. You know, Joey Bosa for the Chargers is probably he's questionable. I don't know if he plays tomorrow, and if he does, he's probably not going to be 100%. So that's good. Justin Herbert, he was a full participant on Friday, but as far I've been looking at Charger, reports. I was looking at the Chargers, Twitter. He still doesn't seem like he's 100%, even though he was a full participant on Friday. From what I hear and what I see, it's still his ankle is still kind of bothering him. And their top running back, Gus Edwards, is going to be out. Now that's the one thing we do know. We do know that the Chargers love to run the football. That's what their whole team is centered on. Play defense, run the football. That's what they do. And I went back today and I looked at the first four games for the Chargers. The two games they won, of course, were teams that were not very good. The Raiders and the Panthers. They beat those guys, handily. And in each of those games, they ran for well over 100 yards. So if the Chargers run the ball for well over 100 yards, they're most likely going to win. But in the two games that they lost, I believe was against the Chiefs and I think the Steelers was the other one. They did not crack 100 yards rushing. And they got, the Chiefs game, it was 17-10. And then in the other game, the Steelers game, I can't remember exactly what the score was, but I just know the Steelers beat the living crap out of them. And if you that tells me everything I need to know. That the Broncos, I'm sure, know this. Vance Joseph knows this. If you stop the Chargers from running the ball, they're not going to win. Plain and simple. If our defense could just shut the run game down of the Chargers tomorrow, they're not going to win this game. And whenever the Chargers play some of the top defenses in the league, like Kansas City is one of the best defenses in the league. I hate saying that, but they are. They have great talent on that side of the ball in Kansas City. Honestly, Kansas City last year and this year so far has been carrying the Chiefs. That's their defense. The Steelers, we know about them. They're like the top defense in the league. And the Chargers couldn't score over 10 points on the Chiefs or on the Steelers. And that tells me whenever the Chargers play a top team in the NFL that can stop the run, they're not going to score any more than 10 points. Like they're averaging, whenever you stop the Chargers run game, they don't get more than 10 points. Like this Broncos, and we shouldn't be worried about their passing game anyway. They have no threat in the passing game. Tight end or wide receiver wise, they have no threat. None. Zero. Zilch. And even if they did, like our secondary has shut down some really good receivers. Especially Surtain. He's locked down George Pickens. He's locked down DK Metcalf. He's locked down, I guess you could say Jacoby Myers / Brock Bowers for the Raiders last week. They shut down Mike Evans. They shut down Garrett Wilson. Like, I'm not worried about the Chargers passing game. They have no receivers or tight ends that scare me. Hunter Henry, I mean, they got that little, I forgot his name, McCorkey or McCorkle or whatever. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But they were talking about him getting put in a slot and he'll be torching the Broncos. He ain't going to torch nothing. Jaquan McMillan will lock him down. Riley Moss will lock him down. Surtain will lock him down. I'm not worried about any receivers in the Chargers passing game, not even their tight end. I'm not worried because the stats and the facts show if the Chargers rush for well over 100 yards, they will beat you because that's what they're built to do. They're built to run the ball and play defense. And if you shut the run game down, the Chargers ain't going to beat you through the air. You know what? And I'm going to go ahead and say this. Justin Herbert, he's solid. I will give him that. He's a solid quarterback. But what has he done to prove he's this otherworldly quarterback? He hasn't proved anything. He made the playoffs, I think, what was it, one time a couple years ago, and he was up. And then they lost that freaking game. Now, you can blame it on coaching or whatever, but they say wins and losses are a QB stat. So I'm not too scared of Justin Herbert. And Justin Herbert never plays us well. Never. Especially in Denver. I'm not worried about the Chargers passing game. This defense tomorrow needs to be solely focused on stopping the run. You stop the Chargers from running, you will beat them easily. And as I brought up earlier, Joey Bosa is questionable. And honestly, even if he plays, I'm not scared of Joey Bosa. Like, if you would ask me this question maybe like 2, 3, 4 years ago about Joey Bosa, yeah, I would have been scared of him. But I'm not. The guy is old. He's past his prime. I'm not saying he can't still get after the quarterback here and there, but he's not as dominating as he used to be. And Khalil Mack, please, same thing. The guy's over the hill. I'm not scared of these guys. And tomorrow, and I said this last week, my score prediction for this game is 14-10 Broncos. I believe this is going to be a very, very physical upfront game. It's going to be a very heavy run game, and it's going to be a very, very defensive-oriented game. That's what I see. Because with Justin Herbert coming off this injury, the Chargers don't know if Rashawn Slater is going to be fully ready to go tomorrow. Joe Alt's coming off injury. And like I said, the Chargers, if they run the ball for well over 100 yards, they will win the game. So that tells me the Chargers are already going to pound the rock tomorrow. So the Broncos defense shuts them. Like, that's what I'm saying. And the Broncos are probably going to do the same thing. They're going to run the freaking ball. I wouldn't be saying this as much with the Broncos running the ball if their offensive line wasn't decimated right now. You lost your starting center. You're on your third string right tackle. Like, the best way to, evolve to that is to make sure you stack the right side with extra tight ends, maybe an extra offensive lineman out there like Sean Payton's been doing. Stack that side of the line and run the ball. So that's what I think is going to happen. The Chargers, even with Justin Herbert, if he was fully healthy, which it says he is, they're going to run the ball because that's what their identity is on offense for the Chargers, is running the ball and play defense. And I believe the Broncos are going to do the same thing tomorrow. And, they're going to, protect Bo Nix because they're not going to have him dropping back that many times, knowing that the offensive line's compromised at center and at right tackle, especially since you're down to your third stringer at right tackle. And now that Josh Reynolds is out, like, you got Marvin Mims and Cortland Sutton, maybe Lil Jordan Humphrey and Devon Bailey. I mean, they're pretty good, but I think they're going to stick to running the ball and protecting Bo Nix. And honestly, if I had to choose between a running back, and this ain't me being biased, if I had to choose between the running backs, and honestly, Forsyth and Petrie, they're better at run blocking. They really are. So if I had to trust a running back to win tomorrow, this day, and break off big runs, I would trust Jaleel and Williams over, I think, the other running back they have since Gus Edwards is out is J.K. Dobbins, which I'm not scared of. He's not a threat. And then I don't know who their other running back is. So this is going to be a very run-heavy game and a very defensive-oriented game. Both teams are going to be – and honestly, I was looking at the stats. The Chargers' defense is not really great at stopping the run. They're not. Like, I believe Javonte and McLaughlin, and Estimate's supposed to be back tomorrow too. Those three are going to have a field day tomorrow. Like, this is going to be a very low-scoring game, play defense, and it's whoever whoever controls time and possession in this game is going to win the game. Whoever has the more dominating run game is going to win this game. And I believe it will be Denver. Denver has 3 running backs I have more faith in than the Chargers. Because like after J.K. Dobbins, I don't know who the running backs are. You know, and the Broncos defense, like they've been solid in stopping the run. They're not like they used to be. They're not just like a turnstile on the defensive line at stopping the run. They can stop the run. They've proven that. They shut down, honestly, probably the best running back duo in the NFL, in my opinion, with the Jets, and Brees Hall and freaking what was his name? Allen or whatever. Like the Jets have a very, very good run game. I mean, that's not to say that the Steelers, the Seahawks don't have good run games. You know, they shut down Najee Harris week 2. Week 1, yeah, Kenneth Walker kind of went off on us, but I think it was because the defense was just trying to get back into a rhythm. You know, they didn't really know, they weren't there yet. They were still working together, working through the kinks. Week 3, the Bucs had no chance of running the ball on us. Week 4, like I said, the best running back duo in the NFL to me is Brees Hall and that Allen kid from the Jets, and we shut them down. And then last week, you know, the Raiders, like, I mean, I don't really know any of the running backs. Like, I'm not scared of them. But that's pretty much what I'm thinking. This game's going to be very run heavy oriented. And whoever has the more dominating run game is going to win this game. And I believe the Broncos will have that dominating run game. Vance Joseph is going to bring guys up in the box because he, like, everybody and their mother knows. Like I said, you go look at the stats. When the Chargers rush for well over 100 yards, they win games. You know, and once again, that's against crappy defenses. You know, that's against the Raiders defense. That's against the Panthers defense. Defenses that no one is scared of that, you know, have no problem. Like the Chargers won those games because they rushed well over 100 yards, but those defenses are garbage. Whenever they had to play against top defenses, like one of ours, like the defense that we have is like top 2 in the NFL, they couldn't score more than 10 points. They couldn't rush for more than 100. They rushed for like maybe 50, 60 yards total in those games against the Chiefs and the Steelers. That's the key to beating the Chargers tomorrow. You establish the run. Like if Alex Pelcheski and Luke Wattenberg or Mike McGlinchey were in this game, I'd be like, yeah, it'd be like the Chargers you guys start the Chargers run and just dominate the passing game. But since, you know, we're down to our 3rd string right tackle and we're down to our backup center, I think running the ball, especially knowing that Forsyth and the right tackle, Petrie, that's going to be starting for us, they're very, very good in the run game. That's why I think the Broncos are going to run the ball and they're going to shut down the Chargers run game. You do those 2 things, this team, Broncos will win tomorrow. I will put money on it. But if Sean Payton's going to have Bo Nix back there dropping back like over 30 times to pass the ball, and the defense can't stop the Chargers run game, then we're going to lose. That's just the way it is. The Chargers don't have anybody of a threat on the receiver depth chart or the tight end depth chart that you should be scared of, especially with this secondary being one of the top secondaries in the league, if not the top secondary in the league. So you shut down the Chargers run game, they're not going to do jack tomorrow. So I'm excited, but like I said, I got the Broncos winning the game tomorrow. 14-10. Like I said, it's going to be a very low-scoring game. A lot of defense, a lot of run game from both teams, and it's going to be a low-scoring affair. I think Bo Nix gets 1 passing touchdown, and either Jaleel, I would say probably Jaleel runs in 1. And then the Chargers go down the field. I think, you know, they get down the field on a drive. They get into the end zone, make it 7. You know, or get 7, and then I think, you know, sometime late in the game they kick a field goal to make it 10-14, and this game will come down to the wire. The Broncos defense is probably going to have to make a play in the 4th quarter to stop Justin Herbert from going down and scoring a touchdown late in the 4th. I think is what's going to happen. I think the defense will pick off Justin Herbert at the end of the game and end it there. So let me know what your guys' score predictions are for tomorrow's game. If you think the Broncos are going to win, lose, you know, what the score is going to be, you know, who do you think is going to pop off tomorrow? If it's going to be Javonte, McLaughlin, Estime, you know, because like I said, I don't think Bo Nix is going to have a great day. I think he'll throw for maybe like 170 yards, maybe 1 touchdown, you know, It ain't going to be like all otherworldly, but you know what? At this point, I really don't care. As long as Bo Nix is improving and we win games, that's all I care about. I don't care if they're ugly wins, great wins, if it's the run game that wins us the game, or if it's the defense that wins us the game, or if it's Bo Nix winning the game. I don't care. As long as he's progressing and the team keeps winning, that's all I care about. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like I said, let me know what your score predictions are, who wins, or who's going to win, who's going to lose, what the final score is. What do you think Bo Nix's stat line is going to be? And tomorrow night, me and Muhammad will be back on this channel discussing the game after the game is over. I believe the game starts at 2:05 tomorrow. So it'll probably be over about, and that's Mountain Time, 2:05 Mountain Time. So it'll be about 4:05 Eastern. The game will probably be over about 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 8:30 Eastern Time. So and that'll probably be about what? Like 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. East or Mountain Time. So we'll probably go live about 7 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow. So tomorrow, come over, jump in, watch me, Muhammad, if you guys want to. If you can now, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that way you can be notified whenever we do go live. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace.